On the 22nd of January, the world witnessed the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Lalla at the newly built Ram Mandir in Ayodhya.
मैं अभी गर्भगृह में ईश्वरीय चेतना का साक्षी बनकर आपके सामने उपस्थित हुआ हूं। कितना कुछ कहने को है, लेकिन कंठ अवरुद्ध है। मेरा शरीर अभी भी स्पंदित है, चित्त अभी भी उस पल में लीन है। हमारे रामलला अब टेंट में नहीं रहेंगे। हमारे रामलला अब इस दिव्य मंदिर में रहेंगे।
और इतना भाव भरा हुए थे कि आंखों से पानी छलक गया,
रोना आ गया।
बिल्कुल।
अच्छा।
हाँ, और मेरे प्रभु के दर्शन होते ही दिल गदगद हो गया। इतने दिनों से वेट कर रहे थे कि कब प्रभु राम आएंगे, कब प्रभु राम आएंगे।
यहाँ पर जो रामलला की मूर्त है वो बड़ी ही अलौकिक है।
This is a symbol of hope, optimism, positivity. Feels great to be sitting here. It's quite unbelievable.
भगवान राम जी के आने की, भगवान जी का मंदिर बनने की इतनी खुशी है, हमको बहुत खुशी है। हम हनुमान जी ने तो सीना फाड़ के दिखाया, हम दिखा नहीं सकते, इतनी खुशी है।
It marked the culmination of a legal dispute as well that lasted over a century and a half. What had paved the way for this development was a unanimous Supreme Court verdict delivered in November 2019 that ruled in favor of the Hindu community when deciding the title.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण मामले पर फैसला सुनाया है जिसके पीछे सैकड़ों वर्षों का एक दीर्घकालीन इतिहास है। पूरे देश की ये इच्छा थी कि इस मामले की अदालत में हर रोज सुनवाई हो, जो हुई और आज निर्णय आ चुका है। दशकों तक चली न्याय प्रक्रिया और उस पूरी प्रक्रिया का अब समापन हुआ है। साथियों, पूरी दुनिया ये तो मानती ही है कि भारत दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक देश है। आज दुनिया ने ये भी जान लिया है कि भारत का लोकतंत्र कितना जीवंत है और कितना मजबूत है।
But no sooner had life been infused into the idol of Lord Ram at the Pran Pratishtha did attention then turn to another part of Uttar Pradesh, towards Varanasi, where there's been another long-standing dispute raging. The Gyanvapi Mosque lies just a short distance away from the Kashi Vishwanath temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva. This temple was built by Ahilyabai Holkar in 1780 after the original Adi Vishweshwara temple had been destroyed by Aurangzeb in 1669. In fact, that temple had been at the receiving end of destruction in the 12th century as well, when Kutubuddin Aibak, a general of Muhammad Ghori, had proceeded to demolish the temple. Within the premises of the current Kashi Vishwanath temple is a Nandi, which is in fact facing the direction of the mosque. The Nandi is the sacred bull companion of Lord Shiva, and the Nandi facing the mosque in Varanasi has only reaffirmed the belief and claim of many Hindus that a mosque was constructed on the remains of a destroyed Shiva temple by Islamic rulers first in the 13th century and then again in the 17th century.
विधान तो यह है कि हमेशा जो है शिव जी के पूरा पश्चिम का मंदिर होता है और उनके शिव जी के जो है इसको क्या बाएं साइड में ये रखते हैं, हमेशा ये रखते हैं।
कोई फिक्स दूरी नहीं होती है। कहा जाए अगर बड़ी मंदिर है, स्थान बड़ा है तो दूरी हो जाएगा, स्थान छोटा है तो नंदी साथ थोड़ा कम हो जाएंगे, और अगर शिवलिंग छोटा है तो नंदी भी छोटा रहेंगे, शिवलिंग बड़ा है तो नंदी बड़ा रहेंगे। मंदिर का स्वरूप जैसा होगा वैसा जो है उसका क्षेत्रफल होगा।
In 1991, the Congress-led government of the centre introduced and successfully managed to pass the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act. The act essentially prevented the conversion of the religious character of a place of worship, holding its character to remain as it was on the 15th of August 1947 when India became independent. It also ended up restricting the right of any community to seek recourse through the courts to reclaim a place of worship if they had grounds to believe and prove that it was either destroyed or converted pre-independence. The only exception to this act was the Ayodhya Ram Babri Masjid dispute. This bill was strongly opposed by the BJP, and when it was debated in Parliament in 1991, it was Uma Bharti who brought up the issue of the Gyanvapi Mosque built over a Hindu temple and why that was problematic. She was rebutted by Mani Shankar Iyer, who argued that a mosque and a temple standing side by side was a sign of secularism. In 1991, there were proceedings in court in Varanasi where Hindu petitioners sought access to the site to offer prayers and had been opposed by the Mosque Management Committee. The Mosque Committee would later invoke the Places of Worship Act, but this was turned down by the lower court. The matter then went to the Allahabad High Court, which issued a stay on the proceedings. From 2019 onwards, the legal dispute once again acquired momentum, and following several back and forths in courts, in Varanasi, followed by Allahabad High Court, and then ultimately the Supreme Court, there
will be a management system for a fountain. By no stretch of imagination, the way I have seen the spot situation, on ground situation, it can be called a fountain. Number two, just near this shivling, there is a well, which was the original well of the temple. So according to me, what I have seen on ground and on the spot, in my belief and faith, this is a shivling. Definitely it is subject to evidence. The trial court will go further and see that what is the depth of this shivling. But this shivling is just opposite Nandi. That's the most remarkable thing. 83 feet from Nandi, this shivling is present, and right opposite Nandi, this shivling is there in the Vaju Khana.
Eventually, the petitioners pressed for the survey by the Archaeological Survey of India, something that was granted, and these findings were ultimately quite revealing. While there were attempts by the masjid side all through to secure a stay on such an exercise from the courts, the Supreme Court itself had said in one of its earlier hearings that the Places of Worship Act 1991 did not come in the way of ascertaining the character of a particular site.
कोर्ट ने यही कहा है कि वजू टैंक के एरिया को छोड़ के बाकी जितना पूरा परिसर है उसकी ASI द्वारा जांच कराई जाए। देखिए, अब ये एक बहुत ही टेक्निकल सर्वे होने वाला है जिसमें पार्टिकल्स लिए जाएंगे, ग्राउंड पेनिट्रेटिंग रेडार लगेगा, बहुत सारी मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, जियोलॉजिस्ट आएंगे, अलग अलग साइंटिस्ट आएंगे ASI की परिधि में। तो ये अब ASI को डिसाइड करना उतना कितना समय लगेगा, तो मुझे ऐसा अनुमान है, ये सिर्फ मेरा अनुमान है कि 3 से 6 महीने के अंदर ये सर्वे की एक्सरसाइज कंप्लीट हो।
The Wuzukhana area was however not part of the ASI survey, but what was unearthed in several other parts of the site tell their own story.